Today is Friday, February 23rd, 2024. You all know I don't normally do pre-recorded videos. Live stream is really my jam. However, there are times when I feel inspired to share something that is on my mind, something a little bit deeper than what I normally do on my show. So here it is. I was on TikTok this morning, this whole why the F did I get married series has been going crazy, so I kind of catch up on that or whatever. I'm still on like the early parts of the series, but I've seen the ending of it already, if that makes any sense. So this morning as I was scrolling, there's this guy that's been popping up on my timeline. His name is Dami, Dami, and he has a game called the Substance Card Game. And in like different videos, he'll ask like the question will come out of the box, or he'll pull the question out of the box rather, and he'll ask the question. So the question that really stumped me this morning was, if you had one question for God, what would it be? I'm gonna do a Christian key, so y'all just give me a minute. So in that moment, I paused the video and I started thinking, what would I ask God? Like, really, what would I ask God? And I encourage you all to put down in the comment section what you all would ask God. But I'm going to tell you all what my answer is. If I had to ask God one question, this is it. My question would be, why did you not make me like everyone else? I'm single, no children. In biblical terms, I am barren. I cannot have children. I no longer can have kids. But it goes deeper than that. When I was a little girl, now keep in mind that my grandmother was a God-fearing woman. She loved God. And when I was younger, she pulled me into her bedroom and she gave me a Bible. And she said, you will be the one to carry this out in the family. And I looked at her puzzled like, what do you mean? Why do I have to do this? Now, keep in mind also that my eldest aunt, who was her eldest child, was a minister. My other aunt, my mother's Irish twin's daughter, okay, is now a minister. And she's married to a pastor. She said, you will be the one to carry this out. This is your life. She literally said to me, this is your life. And I was like, okay, I think she's lost it. Okay. But I digress. So my grandmother died when I was about 12. I was distraught. I became a very depressed individual. You know what I'm saying? And I think it was in my early 20s. I was a club hopper. I did everything. I never did any hard drugs, but I clubbed, I partied, I drank, I smoked, I did all that stuff. And then one day, I started to ask God these probing questions, like, and I also started to challenge God. I did. I challenged him. I said, if you are real, send me someone that's going to teach me about you. This is in my book too, by the way, Triumph Over Adversity, Overcoming Your Church Hurt. I said, if you're real, if you are really, really real, send me someone that's going to get to show me who you are. Some months went by and I was at work one day and I had this supervisor named Patty. And she's a heavy Caucasian lady. And she would wobble when she walked. She walked into the office one day and she said, hey, superstar, I have someone that I want you to train tonight. And I said, okay. So the lady walks in, older lady, and she says, I know what I'm doing. Just tell me the client, tell me the residents and everything, because I was doing patient care. Tell me the residents, tell me where I got to go. I'm good. I said, okay. She said, I've been doing this for a number of years. Just send me on my way. So I did like one day of training, and then she was off to the races by herself. But then during lunchtime, we would sit down and we would, have small talk conversations, nothing too crazy. But she brought this Bible to work, and she would sit and she would study, and she was always praying and stuff. And so I took a liking to this person, and to this day, this is the woman that actually brought me to Christ as an adult. This is the woman that I call my mentor. She was like a surrogate mother to me, and she still is. She's still alive. I call her when times get rough. But then she also said to me that there was something different about me, that she couldn't put her finger on it, but God had his hand on me. So she led me to Christ, and I said, I really want to find a church. So I found a church. And my pastor, she also said the same thing. And there were times where, as I was completing my tenure in 2014, that I started to try to run away from it all. I wanted to run away. I said, I don't want to do this, God. I don't want to do church as usual. I don't know if I even want to be the evangelist that you want me to be. And so when I left the ministry, I was in this relationship and we were having some challenges, and my girlfriend said, get on Periscope and just start talking about relationships. Just start talking about your experience in your relationship and all that. So I get on Periscope and I start talking about relationships. And one person said to me, you're not fooling me. It was a man. I said, what do you mean? He said, I don't believe in women preachers, but you're a woman of God. You're not fooling me. And I said, I'm not, whatever, what are we talking about? Let's talk about relationships. And then one day, God just came in the room and just started to just wreck everything. I don't even remember what happened really fully. It was just a full impartation. And my Nana's son, the woman that brought me to Christ, her son was following me on Periscope and would type in the section, y'all stop, like she's downplaying her gift. She is a woman of God. So fast forward. No, let's fast forward, because after my mother passed away, I left the ministry. I'm on Periscope, but I didn't even want to do that. And so I get introduced to YouTube. So I'm on YouTube and I'm talking. Nobody's listening. Nobody was watching. I mean, my pre-recorded videos were doing very, very well. But the live streams that I was doing, nobody was listening. And, but every time I would get, like, the pre-recorded videos, they would do very well. But, people would always say in the comment section, you have a gift, blah, 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 blah. May 18th, 2022 runs around. That is the day that Michelle Loud sat in her car and she started talking about that she was homeless. She was dealing with postpartum depression. And I looked at the video, and initially I said, I'm not going to touch this. This is big. Because keep in mind, I knew who the Jakes were. I knew who Cora was, rather, from Periscope. She doesn't know that I was watching her the entire time. I knew everybody in that circle because I was a Periscoper. So I said, I don't want to touch this. I don't want to touch it. I just want to watch and see what's going to happen. I get home. Mind you, I was in the parking lot of McDonald's eating food I had no business. And I got this burning feeling. And I remember that feeling because when I was in ministry before, everybody would go towards the celebrities and this and that. I went for the underdog. I felt this attachment to people who were being done wrong and they were hurting. I felt this burning feeling to just help them. It's always been inside of me to just Find that person that is feeling so low and diminished, and just try to do whatever I could to help them. It's I guess it's a gift. And so I said, Lord, I don't want to touch this. I said, God, I don't want to touch it. I want to leave it alone. And I was getting ready for something, and I had this burning feeling to go live. Burning feeling just to go live. In my bedroom, in my old apartment. I went live, and people started to come in, and I was sharing. And then the next time I felt like going live, I said, I don't know if I want to do this, because I had given up hope. Y'all remember, I had lost a lot of hope, and I got served that cease and desist, and I just tried to let bygones be bygones and call it whatever. But I started feeling it again. So one night I was getting ready for a date, and I decided to go live. And I was live for like 2 hours or something. And someone said, will you continue to talk about this situation? This girl needs help. And I said, yeah. You know, I can remember sitting in my room, coming home from Jessup, Maryland, you know, thinking I'm going to go live today because this woman needs help. It wasn't until this past year where a member of the Wise Council, we were on the phone, and she said, you don't understand the impact that you're making in people's lives. And she said the words that I did not want to hear. She said, this is your ministry. You bring people joy. You help them. But you're also fighting for what is right. And I said to her, like I've told you all many times before, I'm a woman that cannot conceive children. And I've been lying about one part of that. I've told myself for years that I didn't want kids because it saved the heartache of not being able to conceive. I've been lying to myself about that, and I've been lying to you all about that because it feels better to say I didn't want kids, when the truth is, and I had to own this week, there's a part of me that always wanted to be a mother. There's a part of me that always wanted to be pregnant. But I lacked a couple of things. I lacked the ability, and I lacked hope. That comes from therapy, okay? I lacked the ability to conceive, and I lacked hope that I could have conceived. So, but never once in a million years, being barren, have I ever wanted to just take someone's child. So let me tell you all why I started YouTube. I'm gonna get out your way. My father died in 2012. He died suddenly of a heart attack. Before my father died, I gave myself a 5-year plan that God laughed at me and said, you don't make any plans around here. Hence the reason why when I went on to Bullet and Flight Radio's podcast, and Dominic asked me that one time, you know, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I said, I don't make plans. I realized that God's plan is my plan. I don't make the plan because He's going to change it up anyway. But when my father died, and then ultimately my mother passed away about a year later, I said to myself, you don't have any children. You need to start leaving something in the earth. So when times get rough for people, this is why, although we talk about these pastors and things, I try to give people a little bit of my personal life and a little bit of my humor, because I get the comments that say, I just love the fact that you're honest and you're authentic and you're raw and you brighten up my day. I'm so mad I missed the broadcast because I needed this laugh for today. I try to give people what I lacked of giving birth, and that was ability and hope. Some people don't have the ability to bring themselves out of a rut. And a lot of times people lack hope. And so because of that, because I lack the ability and hope of bearing children, I like to give ability and hope to people that just need a touch, whether it's for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. That's why I went live yesterday. I went live yesterday not to talk about the foolishness that's going on in the YouTube streets, not to knock another vlogger. I don't want to do that. I can't. I can throw a little shade, but I don't want to be a part, because I want to bring somebody a space where they can just say, girl, this is what I'm thinking about this. Girl, I'm thinking X, Y, and Z. Girl, I'm thinking about this, and this is crazy. Did you see what was going on with that? Because I want people to talk and feel comfortable and engage. And I don't care if there's 10 people in the room. I want to give people hope, the ability and hope to let their guard down for a minute and just be. Yep. And I came up with that phrase of just being because I remember my longtime periscoper. I'm going to say her name. Her name is Marquita. She thinks I don't remember. She sees my TikTok. Hey, girl, I know you watching. But Marquita used to say, they just won't let me be great. They just won't let me be great. You know what I told her? I said, girl, just be. Just be. Just be great. Okay? And for the people that lack ability and hope, I say the same thing. Just be. They don't need to give you permission. You give yourself permission. They don't have to tell you what to do. You tell yourself what you're going to do and where you're going to go. Okay? But you have to give yourself the ability and the hope to just be. All right? I hope that helped y'all. I gave y'all a little bit of my childhood. Thinking about my grandmother brought back some very fond memories this morning. And even just remembering just sitting with her in the room and just being present with her. It made a huge difference in my life. Hope that helps somebody. Drop down in the comments and let me know what you think. So let me get off here so I'm not a weeping willow. Bye. It's a feeling that I